Pessoal, não vamos esquecer de acionar o sino.
Folks, let's not forget to hit the bell. Hello, fighters of the Justa Guerra channel. I've been wanting to make this video about the weight of responsibility of a military commander for a while. I want to talk about this today because it's a warning. First, it's military knowledge for you. It will enrich the military culture of our subscribers, but also to show a bit of the importance, responsibility, integrity, and serenity in this life. But before starting, I ask you to subscribe to our channel, give it a like, and comment, which is very important. That said, today we're going to talk about Marshal Zhukov.
Hoje sobre o Marshal Zhukov. Então, eu quero mostrar aqui para vocês, tá? Eu peguei.
So, I want to show you here. I picked Zhukov. He was probably, I don't know if he was the most competent marshal of World War II, but he was certainly the most troubled, because you can see here on his record. He was involved in all the major battles of World War II, both in the Battle of Moscow as well as in Stalingrad, Leningrad, Kursk, Bagration, the Vistula offensive, and the capture of Berlin. And Zhukov was an innovator and a precursor, because his victory at Khalkhin Gol in 1939, a few weeks before the start of World War II, was decisive in preventing Japan from attacking the Soviet Union afterward.
Foi determinante para que o Japão não atacasse a União Soviética depois. E talvez ali ele tenha mudado o curso da história. O Japão desistiu.
And perhaps there, he changed the course of history. Japan gave up waging war with the Soviet Union, and then later he became the Minister of Defense, was removed and returned several times. But we noticed that even at the end of his life, with all the harshness, Zhukov was a very tough person, very difficult, with an iron discipline, truly iron, really tough. He was the typical peasant, with that hard life in the Russian countryside. But we noticed that he was a person who had, even at the end of his life, a great joy in living.
Uma alegria muito grande em viver. Há vários Zhukov, a verdade é essa. A gente foi estudar a biografia dele.
There are many, Yuka. That's the truth. We will study his biography, delve into many things, and there is still much to be discovered, many files to be released. But I wanted to say the following to you. Can you imagine what this man's life was like? Every time there was a problem in the Soviet Union, Stalin delegated powers to him, precisely because he trusted Zhukov. The result of all this is that the person ended up not having a private life. Zhukov ended up marrying again, to a nurse from the Soviet army. And it's interesting because at the end of his life, in the 60s, his first wife died and then his second wife died. She was much younger than him. But it's sad because you lived all the time away from home.
Triste, né? Porque você viveu o tempo todo afastado de casa. Ele era chamado para todos os recantos da.
He was called to all corners of the Soviet Union front, which was the largest European front, almost the size of the Pacific front. Among the land fronts, it was the largest war front of World War II. You take the distance from Leningrad to Stalingrad, and then from Leningrad to Berlin, and he was in all those places. Now what we notice, which affects a military commander, and I'm not just talking about Zhukov, you have Gyap, you have the Duke of Caxias himself here. How long did the Duke of Caxias stay at home in his entire life? He fought all over Brazil. He was in Maranhão, in the south, in Paraguay, in various places. And at that time, transportation was much more difficult.
E naquela época a locomoção era muito mais difícil. Então, comandante militar, ele tem uma responsabilidade.
So the military commander has a very big responsibility. The family ends up being put on the back burner. It's very sad. You have many marriages ending precisely because of the weight of this work, this role, because the profession of arms is quite comprehensive. It demands a lot from a person. I often say that militarism is a vocation. In fact, that's it. It's a vocation. You dedicate yourself, you only do that, you can't do anything else.
Só faz aquilo, não vai dar para fazer outra coisa. Uma coisa que eu quero colocar para vocês que é muito importante que eu.
One thing I want to emphasize to you, which is very important and something I've always tried to take very seriously here, is responsibility. It's something I learned in the military. When you're a leader, you have to be very careful with what you say. Why? Because everything you say will sound official. It will sound concrete, like the will of the institution. And this can cause problems. So we know the weight the channel has, the Arte de Guerra channel has. Millions of views, hundreds of thousands of followers. And I am very careful with the things we say here, because sometimes you can spread a rumor that will disrupt people's lives. I say this because we are seeing some things circulating out there regarding pics, etc. Many content creators are talking about things based on this, and there aren't many concrete facts. We have to be very careful with this. That's why I avoid certain topics, avoid certain environments, because I think we have a very big responsibility with what we write. I take this very seriously, this part of responsibility, the weight of the words we have here. That's what I wanted to leave with you. Study the lives of great military leaders. Take Julius Caesar, for example. He spent his entire life away. These are people who end up distancing themselves from family, distancing themselves from personal life, and remain focused on a very big responsibility that the military life imposes on them. So that was today's video. I wanted you to reflect on this, because we are living in a time when responsibility seems to be disregarded. People don't think about what's coming. They write anything. I also see some comments that people post here, which are well below any criticism. I doubt they would speak like that to a family member. We see a lot of things like that. So folks, this was our video for today. We did something here that I've wanted to talk about for a long time regarding responsibility, the importance of responsibility. So, if you watch this video, subscribe, give it a like, share it, use the hashtag Arte de Guerra, everything there, hashtag Arte de Guerra, and tell us what you thought of this video. Write where you're speaking from. Anyone who can help with a super sticker or super chat will be supporting our channel. There's also Pix, which you see on the screen, that bypasses YouTube's restrictions. We'll be back soon, always with responsibility and commitment. Faith in Brazil, folks. See you later. The Amazon Virtual Store's book section alone has over 5,000 items about World War II. And I remind you that Amazon doesn't just sell books. It sells DVDs, documentaries, and a seemingly endless array of items related to World War II. You can find the Amazon wish list in the description of our video. And I always remind you, every time you buy books or any other items through our channel's wish list, you are helping Arte de Guerra, because a portion of the commission from the items sold is returned as revenue for our channel. Adriana Zanato,